This is part of the Arts Festival and the Arts Crawl. This is Sechelt First Nations' contribution to it. And we've got some fantastic artists here. We've got Tony Paul, Candace Campo, Shain Jamie Jefferies, Tony Paul over there, who's fantastic carver, works pretty much primarily in cedar. Shain she weaves a whole smorgasbord of hats and bags and headbands and things out of cedar. And a few down, Jamie Jefferies, he's a carver, and he carves some amazing plaques, again, out of cedar. So it's easy not to get too far away from cedar when you're shishalh, because we're cedar people, and, it's kind of in our blood. Well, I try and do everything out of cedar, so from the big wall panel in the back of the bears, or in our language, the mayok, the small little baby bentwood boxes, to the large bentwood boxes, I've got fruit bowls. This was our latest invention. It's made out of yellow cedar, and it's a little bee refuge, so the bees live in it. This jewelry is based on our traditional wooden jewelry, which would be huge. It's a real Flavor Flav kind of, big stuff. So we've kind of shrunk it down to human size, and everyone has a meaning based on our traditional meaning. So like the raven's the trickster, the moon is the dreamer, the eagles are the leaders, the hummingbirds the nurturers, that type of thing. All our work has sort of, aside from an aesthetic value, has a sort of communication value as well. I think the way I define art in general, not necessarily native art, is the conveyance of meaning by other means. So whether it's writing other than prose, like poetry or songwriting or everything, you're trying to get across something that can't be gotten across through regular sort of communication means. So, and artwork is like that as well. Now, I'm not talking about Indigenous art. Indigenous art actually is a written language. So it's something that, if you can understand the symbolism, you can get across something in a very direct manner, So it's something that's really been lost, obviously through history with the residential schools and actually literally outlawing our artwork and cultural stuff. If you look into here, you'll see a little Salish eye. Well, these represent the eyes of our ancestors, and they're always upon us. It's almost like a little big brother thing, You want to do well because your ancestors are always looking at you. And it's everywhere. I could talk for an hour on just about the Salish eye and, the presence that are, of our ancestors around us. If you take the number 4, is a very sacred number to us as well. So you'll see a lot of 4s. So that represents, the 4 seasons, the 4 stages of life, infant, youth, adult, elder, the 4 directions. And what the 4 directions means, in Coast Salish culture, our strength was built on our acceptance of other people. We would take the best of what everybody else had to offer and make ourselves stronger by that. So we would never shun anybody else's culture. We would bring them in and go, oh, you do it this way? That's fantastic. That's a great way of doing it, You should join us and maybe we can compare notes, which is in direct contrast to a lot of the colonial way of doing things, which is our way is the only way, and by the way, your way is illegal now. So things are changing. People's points of view have changed. I would say most people don't think like that anymore, which is fantastic, because we can start kind of where we left off, which is bring in new cultures, bring in the best of what you have to offer, especially in Canada. In this country, I always consider myself so proud to be part Coast Salish, and have European roots as well, because it really is the best of what we all had to offer, and now everybody's starting to get it. So our history, our culture, our worldview, and even our laws are codified into the artwork. So you'll see a lot of that here. You'll see a lot of our stories and our symbolism and everything ingrained into the artwork. Our artwork is the blueprint of our culture. So it's why we need to protect it.